Hello guys, this is Caroline here with a YouTube video. In this video, my friend and I talk about various topics like quarantine life, biking, agriculture, and school life while playing Stardew Valley. I upload every Wednesday, so feel free to subscribe, like, and hit the bell if you like the content. If you dislike the content, don't forget to leave a dislike and comment why. Anyways, let's get on with the video.
Talking about biking, yeah, going out biking. Usually I'll just go, but it was really bad. All of the trails that I've seen around, they are so crowded, and people are not wearing their masks. They're not maintaining distance. It's just really not safe. So honestly, it feels that the right play is to just bike on the side of the roads and on bike paths.
I see perhaps a lot of people are actually like wearing the masks while they are biking.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's good. Like, that's the safest thing. And to an extent, I can understand why people who are jogging and stuff don't wear their masks, because it really is suffocating. And if you're running, you're doing your cardio, you really need to breathe. But at the same time, it's like, there has to be another way.
Yeah, I feel like you only start to get suffocated with like the N95. Otherwise, like the surgical masks, they do inhibit your breathing, but like not as much, I guess.
That's right. The surgical masks are not nearly as much of an issue, of an obstruction to your breathing.
Yeah.
At the same time, they're not as much of an obstruction to the breathing.
But for some reason, like for me, surgical masks used to be like really fucking annoying to wear, until for some reason, like maybe like a switch just flipped, and I just felt like they were completely okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff changed. The shape of your head changed, perhaps. Your brain got too big.
This is like my nose was always really like itchy and annoying while I was wearing that, and then for some reason that just wasn't after a while. I cannot imagine unironically getting up at like 6:50 a.m. in the morning to do farm work.
Oh, yeah, but that's the thing, like, you kind of have to, because there's a point where it gets too hot to really do any work outside, or to do as much, and especially if you're doing, like, certain planting and stuff, you can't transplant stuff in the middle of the day in summer, because it'll just bake the roots, and they really won't do super well. Especially a lot in my garden lately. I've been doing a lot of planting at my parents' requests, and if you transplant new stuff into the ground at all in the middle of the day and they don't have shade, they will just die. They get heated up really fast, and it's no good. I'm sorry. Okay, let me mix up.
I was thinking of I don't really have any equipment, but I was thinking about hydroponics. Do you do that, or are you familiar?
Hydroponics? I've actually been thinking of trying to set up a hydroponics system. I've ordered a bunch of components off DigiKey and whatnot, electronics components.
I see.
It's really just that I didn't have the time and money to like set up that kind of system on my own. I could buy a kit, but those are like kind of expensive, and honestly, it just feels more fun to make it into a project on my own.
Yeah, I think the main thing is like the computing and like well, if you want to do the computing, and I don't quite understand, but I think you need like some kind of nutrient-rich water to water the plants with.
You do in general need nutrient additives because obviously that's what they're missing from soil at that point.
Yeah. How do they grow so fast? Because from what I heard, the benefit of hydroponics is that they grow super fast, and they produce a lot of food.
I'm not sure if it grows a huge amount faster. But I mean, certainly it would benefit from being in ideal laboratory conditions, as long as those conditions are actually correct. You can maintain a very specific temperature, a very specific humidity, and very specific amounts of like fertilizer and other resources, which I'm sure is a great benefit. And especially being able to have something controlled indoors, you don't have to worry about pests or anything.
I see.
Or any kind of environmental conditions, like, oh my god, this stupid neighbor's dog took a crap all over this plant, and that's really acidic and grew some fungus or something, and now the entire thing's dead.
Oh, shit.
You don't have to worry about that anymore. Right?
Yeah. Because like I was watching a few like videos on YouTube, and I think quite a few of them detailed about those indoor farms that are really popular right now. And
Yeah.
there's obviously like every time you bring up like one of those things, the hype video is like, oh man, this is gonna change the world, and then like 3 comments under, there's like a qualified scientist explaining why that's not gonna change the world.
Yeah, it's really not. Like, people don't have a sense of scale on how like agriculture and farming works, really.
But from what I hear, these kind of indoor farms can produce a massive amount of output compared to
I'm sure
like, their what do you call that? Their land space that they use. Of course, I think
Right.
that the trade-off is like the energy.
Yeah, there's definitely a significant amount more energy that goes in, a significant amount more cost and maintenance, because there's a lot of infrastructure that has to be built around these systems, right?
Yeah.
And yes, the same is true for traditional agriculture, but it's really the environment is such that it becomes much less of a factor there.
I see.
Especially because, I mean, the main thing is sunlight, right? You're not relying on LEDs or anything when you're just out in the open. But for temperature control, climate control, soil control, any of that stuff, it becomes a big investment when you're having an indoor system.
I see.
I think the primary reason...
Skylights or something to
You can, but here's exactly where I'm getting to, is that I think the primary reason these systems are so popular is because it works for people who don't own their own homes or own a big yard, a workable yard.
I see. So like more like urban, an urban side.
Exactly. Which in that case, you're really not going to have any skylights or the opportunity to put in skylights because you're going to be living in an apartment or something. And skylights are nice, but typically they're expensive to install, and they kind of require either high roofs or a lot more work to install. So again, it's not necessarily the best way to do it.
Yeah. I feel like the main thing is like the indoor farms look very impressive. Like they look like something out of like Star Trek or something.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think personally that they are great for some very specific purposes. In my opinion, you don't want to use them for like actual crop output of any kind. Like if you want a vegetable garden or something and you have no other way to do it except for indoors, sure, that's great, and you can go ahead and do that. But if you have like access to a yard outdoors and you still want an indoor garden, I really think the best way to go about this is growing something like herbs, something that you can harvest repeatedly, that you don't need huge quantities of, and that you would actually benefit there from over buying it at the store, because those are really the things that you'll be paying more for as opposed to growing it yourself. For stuff like vegetables, honestly, the way that industrial production of food and agriculture has developed, you're really not going to get a lot more benefit out of it.
Yeah. From what I...
So do you have any plans for the summer for classes or anything?
Yeah, I'm taking one CS class at the moment. That's going to start on the end of June.
Wow, that's kind of early, isn't it? I guess it's not, because we're already done with our regular semesters.
Yeah, basically. Did you bring any like plants on your way to college?
I actually didn't. I figured that most of the plants that I had were I have a lot of succulents, and those would probably do fine. but I wasn't sure if I wanted that kind of mess in my dorm room. Especially, I wasn't really sure how I would transport them well, because it's a long flight over to Texas. And I figured that in reality, succulents are so popular, I'd just be able to buy some there. But I never actually ended up doing that. I never ended up buying any small pots or anything. I got just really busy with the makerspace and 3D printing.
I think I watched this one video about scythes, like is that a scythe or a sickle? No, yeah, that is a scythe. Apparently some dude was talking about how easy they were to mow grass or something. I don't really have a grass on the lawn, so it's not really a big deal for me, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, scythes are very good at cutting long grass, because mowers, they just kind of chew things up, right?
Yeah.
But scythes really, they just make one clean cut. Mm-hmm. And that's why it becomes more and more efficient as compared to a mower, the longer the grass actually is. Of course, it requires, proper handling and a decently sharp blade and whatnot.
Yeah. From what I hear, you actually need to sharpen that with a whetstone for quite regularly, every few minutes. So there is that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's where
I feel like
lawnmowers time.
Is that the case? Because I don't know about size, but at least swords made of decent steel have pretty good edge retention to the point that at least they don't need to be sharpened every few minutes of use.
I'm sure, but I mean, what are scythes made of usually? In areas where scythes are used more than power tools like mowers, yeah. It may not necessarily be the case that a community, can actually afford really nice, high quality tools.
True.
And I think significantly more than a sword, scythes really need to have a super sharp edge all the time, because as soon as you get some nicks or dulling, it absolutely won't cut, or it'll cut badly. And the moment it starts cutting badly, you'll end up fucking grass juice and bits all over the blade, and it'll just dull it a lot faster.
Is that acidic or
really more, it'll just make the blade cut worse and worse very quickly. Not that it corrodes. Thanks.
I hear some, I don't know if your school does this, but I hear some professors from various schools and stuff are trying to catch cheaters in different ways.
Have you heard about the whole shenanigans with the Reddit AP subreddit?
No, I did not.
Okay.
AP subreddit always leaks AP answers. Let's be honest, okay?
No, but this is pretty crazy.
Oh wait, what happened?
So on the AP test 2020 subreddit,
yeah.
Collegeboard put in, and well, this is the theory, and I haven't actually looked into this really hard.
Yeah.
They put in a mole who is basically encouraging cheating and pretending to be a teenager who is oh man, guys, this really sucks. We should really just be trying to game the system and make it work out for us because this is so important and whatnot. And it was very, very suspiciously done. You could tell.
Legally, that's entrapment, I think.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. That, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. You can't just do that. That's entrapment.
Yeah, entrapment only applies to cops or something. I don't
think it applies only to cops. And I'm sure there must be that. There's no way that can be legal.
Very unlikely. For me, I know our this isn't exactly the same thing, but our final exams were technically leaked with air quotes on Reddit, I think. And then nobody really clicked on that link, but there were various theories about what they were. One of them is just that this is a PDF of the professor's face as a joke.
The
second one is some TA probably got bored and just unironically leaked the exam. The third one is this is probably the craziest one, is they've installed because it's CS of course. They've pulled like a 5 million IQ move and made the link so that would install a cookie onto your computer so that would track your IP address and then report you for cheating. that's like the most far out theory.
Yeah.
Pure Store is now selling fertilizers. Did you see that video I sent you?
I did. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
But it is like I think it's a really. I think you're right about playing the algorithm.
Yeah. For some reason, they really hit the load with Minecraft Manhunt. That's like easily their most popular series, I think.
Yeah, I can definitely see how like the audience that fits that niche is super present on YouTube.
From what I hear, do you know this guy named MrBeast?
I do know MrBeast, yes.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like an absolute genius at working the algorithm. Which, when you look at his results, that does make sense. Like his
to an extent, also remember that there's a lot of luck based into it, and after you really start off, because he does a lot of he's very good at making his content show up a lot of the time, and not just because of the algorithm, but because he is active on a lot of other social media platforms as well, and because he does a lot of outreach. He puts a lot of effort into outreach. And I think that's really what's been boosting him.
What do you mean outreach? Like, where do you find him? Just curious.
I mean, you know about the whole Team Trees thing, right?
Oh yeah, that. A lot
Yeah,
of
like he
YouTubers
does-
hopped on that one, but I
Exactly.
think he's like the biggest one. He was like, I'm gonna plant 20 million trees or something.
Yeah, I mean, he was the one who like started it.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it was his thing.
Okay. To be fair, he's a very big name in the YouTube community.
Right,
So.
right. But that's the thing. He stays big by collaborating with a lot of people and making these kind of big announcements and having these big events. And I think that's really something that you have to keep doing in order to stay relevant and stay a big name, right?
Oh, and get the coup?
No, not yet. I want to get that in the summer.
I wonder if like growing a coop of chickens or something is feasible, like not in Stardew Valley, but like in real life. I don't know. With the land that we have, because I've seen like a few of my neighbors do that, and I know a few of my friends do that too.
There's a friend who lives on Springer actually,
Okay.
who owns chickens.
Okay. What does he do? Do you just lay eggs or?
Yeah. It's pretty chill.
Nice.
I don't remember. I think you don't need a permit.
I think you might need a permit to sell them, but I'm not sure whether you need a permit to like have them and grow them.
Yeah, I mean there are certain farm animals which the city bans you from having on your property.
Like a cow or sheep?
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have cows or sheep. I think you can have goats.
Let's see. Do you have any summer classes lined up, by the way, or not?
I actually don't. I was certainly considering it, but one of the classes that I really wanted. Okay, by the way, we're going all in on potatoes.
We are? Okay.
Yeah. Which also means we're gonna need a fuckload of fertilizer.
Oh, really? Okay. Good thing we have all that sap.
Yeah, good thing. Okay. We're gonna spend the entire rest of today planting these. And this is perfect because we don't have to water them today.
Oh yeah, because it's raining.
Yes. But yeah, I was kind of torn between two classes for what I wanted to take over the summer versus in the fall. One of them was an engineering design course, which I actually was supposed to take this past year, but I couldn't get in.
Oh.
And the other one is solid mechanics. So it's just a standard engineering course. And the thing is, solid mechanics is a very easy course to find at a community college or, for some online thing somehow, because it's a very standard course.
Yeah.
However, it's significantly more important to engineering and fundamentals. So my dad was like, you should really take that in a real college instead of online or over the summer or something. And so I was like, okay, that seems reasonable. But the issue is for the life of me, cannot find a course equivalent to the design and graphics course that I need. Which really sucks because I don't really want to have to take that super late in my degree plan.
Thanks for watching us play and talk for a little bit. We'll upload again every week with more content from my various series, so check out my channel for those videos. Again, subscribe, leave a like, and hit the bell if you like this. If not, leave a dislike and comment why. Caroline out. See you next time.